Hey, welcome to Into the Night with Sean Kelly with my special guest tonight, Russell Round from the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. Hey, Russ, how are you?
Hey, good, good.
Good.
Had a nice weekend. That
Yes,
was a
yes, we did have a nice weekend. Yeah, I got some notes about up there. Um, I was really fascinated about going to the bridges this time around. It was a
yeah,
different feel, you know. And the first one I want to talk about, I got a little. We picked up this. We were there Tuesday night. I'm sorry, Wednesday night. I'm sorry, Friday night, and we picked up the name Mary. Okay, and it was crazy because she was really hitting the K2 meter, which was
yeah,
pretty a lot, and it was interesting because it just seems like she would talk to me. You know what I mean? She wouldn't talk to nobody else, but she was with me. So Jessica, right? She did some research on the name Mary, and her name was Mary Jemison, Jeminson,
yeah, Jim.
and yeah, and she was on September 19th, 1833. She was captured by the Seneca people, because at that time it was the French and Indian War.
Right.
And she became a Seneca. She got adopted by a Seneca tribe, and she married a couple people that were Indians. So I find that like pretty interesting. And
What you're saying is she was pretty brave.
what's that? Oh
What you're
man,
saying is she was pretty brave. She
yeah,
married a couple.
couple
Okay.
Indians. One died, and then she remarried again. But I don't know where I heard it from, but some guy, she was from Adams County out there in Gettysburg.
Right.
And during the French Indian War, she happened, her family got killed, and according to the Seneca beliefs, for every Seneca that was either captured, dead, or whatever happened to them, in return, they would kill certain, that same amount of people, and they would scalp their heads. Did you know that, Russ?
Yeah,
Did you? Good.
yeah, they're scalpers.
But, well, what
Serious. Yeah,
happened? I saw that. It's going to be a good hour, everybody. It's going to be
yeah,
a good hour. But it just it was a hell of a lot creepier than it was at Saks Bridge. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because it is a rickety old bridge,
yeah.
and I'll be honest with you, I was not I wasn't expecting something like creepy as that bridge was, but when I got there and I started to walk the path across the bridge and the path, I mean it was pretty eerie,
Yeah, I walked that
and
path all the way out, and I was playing Dixie.
did it work?
No, I didn't get. I didn't go over the evidence yet, but so far I haven't seen anything.
You haven't seen any. What were you using that night? Because I know there were times where me and you were split up. We went one place, you went to the other place. So when you were there with Jason, what were you using?
My Panasonic with night
Okay,
vision,
okay. Did you have
and
a K2 with you?
no, no,
No.
Jan had that, but she wasn't with. I walked out all by myself.
Okay. Was it just you and Jason then?
Yeah, he stayed at the bridge. I walked the path,
Okay.
playing music. I thought that would be a nice trigger object to play Dixieland.
Well, you know what? That probably would have been, but
Yeah,
to me that I just wasn't picking up any Confederate soldiers or nothing like that. No, no. It just seems like there were people there from the land itself,
yeah.
people
What I
that,
read was some people committed suicide on that bridge, but I couldn't
how
find
many?
any. I couldn't find any proof. It just said in lore. That's why they
Okay,
call it the suicide bridge.
what's the real name for that? It's called the John Eisenhower Bridge,
Yeah, the Eisenhower Bridge.
Eisenhower Bridge, and
Yeah.
but I know that when we went down, like the first night we were there, Thursday night. Oh, let me tell you about Thursday night. Me, Jessica, and her boyfriend, we went to Culp's Hill at night, right?
Hmm.
And I walked that hill, dude. I made it all the way up the hill without,
Yeah.
and I was breathing okay. But going up the hill, it
Hmm.
was just about dusk, a little bit dark, and it wasn't as creepy. It wasn't as creepy as I thought it would be. It was like calm silence. You had the crickets going. You had there was a little bit of a breeze, not that much.
Yeah.
And I figured that we would be picking up something paranormal going up Culp's Hill, but you know what? We didn't. So as we're coming back down, we took a wrong road, and we ended up walking all over Culp's Hill. And what was crazy, right? We got back to the cars eventually, and what happened was, we wanted to get out of Culp's Hill,
Hmm.
and so we put on my GPS in the car, and it ended up taking us back the way we walked. And I'm thinking, they don't want us to leave Culp's Hill.
Yeah,
They
I always
wanted
like
us to stay.
Caldwell's really interesting place.
It is. Remember that when we were filming that TV show,
Yeah.
Paranormal Pittsburgh, we had the kids up there, right?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
my ears bothering me. That's why I keep taking this out.
Okay.
I just want you to know that. It's not that I'm tired of your voice or anything like that. It's just my ear itches.
Yeah, we went across from Devil's Den, me and Jason. That was a
Uh-huh.
pretty. That's interesting in there. I didn't even know it was. I knew it was there, but I didn't know there was a path to get to it, and that goes deep in the hill there.
Really?
That's where the woman caught the spirits. Did you ever see that on YouTube? The woman catches the spirits
Oh,
walking,
yeah, yeah. Going up the
walking up
hill.
hill, but there's no hill there. It's just flat, a
What?
little
No.
grade.
Did now when you said it was across from Devil's Den. Now, did you cross the little bridge that was
Yeah,
there
over
in
that
order to get? Okay.
little bridge,
Well,
make a left, follow the path.
okay. Well, when you cross that bridge, it's called the slaughter pen.
Right.
Okay, because there was a lot of guys that got killed there, and
Oh, I can imagine.
oh,
Because they
it
were
was
up on
pretty
Little Round Top shooting and firing cannons. There was,
right.
I know there's a lot of people died all over that place.
I know, and and you could just, and I know you can feel it now, but you could just feel the energy of
Yeah.
like mainly sadness. There was no happiness at all, none.
No,
Not even in the town of Gettysburg itself. It was like it was dull and kind of creepy this week.
yeah.
But
It's a small place.
it is. And where else did you go that weekend?
We did up at the Pennsylvania Memorial,
Hmm.
went up to the monument, Pennsylvania Monument. We went to the top of that. That was, I didn't even know you can get up there, but
Oh, really?
that's a,
Okay.
yeah, that's pretty interesting. And you could see where the battle was.
Oh,
They have
wow.
diagrams of where like big round top, little round top, and the triangle
Right.
field, the
Hmm.
wheat fields, and you can just
Yeah.
about see where the Confederates were and where the Union was.
Oh, wow. You know what? I'm afraid of heights, so I have a problem with climbing up that high. Even those towers that you saw on Confederate Avenue.
Yeah,
Um, I just can't deal with heights, so I really, you know, haven't quite made the trip up. You're gonna have to put me on some kind of drug and walk my ass up in order to get there,
I'll
so
put
I can
money
just
up.
see it. You'll put
I'll
money. How
put a
much do you put
$20
up, big
bill or
brother?
huh?
A $20 bill?
Yeah, and maybe a steak dinner or something. You'll get up there.
Yeah, I could do that. But it, it was an enjoyable weekend that we had up there. Um, I learned a lot. I learned a
Yeah,
lot about um, different, different types of investigations. Um, I've seen other people out there that investigate, and theirs are like totally different than ours, you know, but it basically has the same meaning. We're trying to find the answers.
Right.
Have you ran into a group out there this past weekend or in the past to where you saw the way that they were investigating?
Pretty much the same as we do.
Mm-hmm.
They go out and they get the K2 and they ask questions and see if they get a response.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the EVP, but they didn't get anything either. Like I said to the one guy, I said, I wonder if you're only allowed to be a spirit on the earth for so long. Because, like, you never see a caveman spirit. And I'm
Right,
sure
that's
they
true.
have energy, or I've
Oh
never
yeah.
seen, you know, it's just we won't know till we go there what it is. And
And
the strange thing that happened was my
mm-hmm.
wife Janice. She had her EVP recorder in her purse, sitting on the floor in the RV by the chair, and then all of a sudden it started talking,
What?
and she took it out, and it recorded the like 5 minutes of her, Jason, and Nina's conversation,
Really?
and yeah, it just turned on by itself, started recording, and then it started playing back. We have no idea how that happened. We try to
Wasn't there
recreate
some
it. Hmm?
couldn't get it? You couldn't
No,
get the
try
recreation
to
in?
no. It just you shut it. It was turned off, and for that EVP recorder, you have to push the button and hold it till the Olympus comes on, and
Mm-hmm.
then you got to hit record, and then you got to hit stop, and then you got to hit play. So we have no clue how it did that. It was sitting by
Wow.
itself in her purse.
Wow.
So
You
that
have
was one
another
of
ghost in the RV.
the
Wasn't
yeah,
there also something? You have another ghost. I don't know, is
yeah.
he Confederate or Union? But
And that picture
what
I
else
took,
happened? What's
that
that?
picture the picture I took.
Right,
I was trying to get a picture of a cannon for my grandson,
right,
and I took the phone, held it out the window, and me and Jason was riding along, and it was going a little too fast, I guess, because when I hit it, I looked, and all I seen was a field.
right.
So I didn't bother looking at it. So
Mm-hmm.
when I got home here today, I looked at it, and there's a person standing there.
Right.
And like Jenny was saying, maybe that was a reenactor. But I
Mm-hmm.
know if me and Jason would have seen somebody by themselves, because usually there's
Right.
groups of people walking, and
Exactly.
that was on Wheatfield Avenue, and nobody
Oh,
walks down
okay.
there. There's really nothing to see. It's just fence and a couple cannons.
Right.
There, I believe there might be a monument. I think there's a sign that says the Wheatfield.
Okay.
But next time I go up there, I'm going to have to reinvestigate.
I
But
would.
I know I would have said, Jason, look at this guy. He's dressed like a soldier. But you can see, I don't. That could be anything. If I would have caught it then, we could have stopped and backed up. But
Right.
that's
But
how
you know
everything
what?
and
That's a
paranormal.
cool.
That's
That's
how everything happened.
exactly. But that was a cool picture that you got.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought it was
I
pretty.
mean, I consider that a class triple A, and since it's you, it's
Yeah.
a class quad A picture.
But
Um,
the thing about it is, if I wish I would have seen it, we could have stopped and backed up and
right.
seen there was nobody there or there was a man there. But because we were talking and riding along, and I just took the picture. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it always happens that way when you're paranormal investigating.
Mm-hmm.
So when you least expect it, so you catch something, and then you find it later on when it's too late to go look at it, to go investigate.
Well, see, this is the way I look at it. It's like maybe you weren't meant to turn around to see if something was there. Do you know what I mean? Um,
Mhm.
maybe it was a set. I don't want to say a setup per se by somebody. I'm just saying, you know, if you were supposed to see somebody there, then you would have
Yeah.
seen him. But since you didn't see him, I believe you, buddy. I have no doubt in my mind that that's a really cool picture. And
Yeah.
I didn't really realize it until I saw between the legs where you could
Hmm.
actually see that tree stump. But speaking of your RV, wasn't there other things that wasn't there any other things that happened with Nina or weird shit that happened in your RV? I thought some other weird stuff happened, or was it just with the EVP?
Just the EVP recorder that I know of, that I can remember. And me and
Hmm.
Jason went out by ourselves a lot. Something might have happened to them too while we were gone. But
That's possible. That's possible. So where'd you and Jason go?
we went to Sachs Bridge and then Suicide Bridge. We went up
Hmm.
to Devil's Den. That was Friday Thursday night. We went up to Devil's Den, rode around there for a while, and then we went up
Hmm.
to Moran Top. But we didn't get out of the car. We just drove around looking.
Okay. Did you see
So
anything
next
interesting?
time, no, not really. Next time, I'm gonna take a camera and mount it on the car. I'll take the bug
That that would be
and
pretty
mount it.
cool. I could kick myself in the ass because I'll tell you what, because I brought my trail cams with me, right? And I never
Yeah.
got to set them up. And I was
Oh,
thinking, so I got some decent pictures.
yeah.
Nothing like yours. Um,
Like
you
I
know how
said, that was
you
that was a fluke. Just like when Val got that picture of the guy in the cemetery.
right,
You know,
exactly. Hmm.
this happens when you least expect it.
So while we're on the radio show, we got to think of some places to go next year. Do you have any ideas? I know you're going down to Mississippi in January, but how about for the group itself? Where do you think? Do you have any ideas that you what you want to do?
No, not really. Me and Jason's been talking about places, and me and you've been talking about places.
Hmm.
You know,
You want to go out east somewhere? Um, I know you. Why don't you? That's a good
Eastern
idea. Well,
Penitentiary.
yeah.
He's
Tell your people. Yeah. Tell your story about Eastern Penn.
I went to Eastern Penn. Excuse me. And I remember the next cell was Al Capone's, and I went in the cell before his, and they said
Hmm.
there was a few bad people that was in there. And all of a sudden, it's like I inhaled a pile of dust. I couldn't breathe. I was coughing, couldn't get it out, and it was just so. My wife Jan, she says, "Come on, get out of here." So we walked out. As soon as I got in the hallway, it was gone.
It was
That's
gone.
the only thing that happened the whole time.
Oh wow. Did it feel creepy though being in there?
Yeah, it's a spooky place.
Hmm.
Especially since it's all rusted and falling down, and but it's just gives you a creepy feeling knowing how many people have died in that place. They weren't even
Right.
allowed to talk to each other. That was the first penitentiary, which means penitents, when
Right.
they weren't allowed to talk to each other. And they used to wear hoods when they take them out in the hallways. It was a pretty interesting place.
Oh wow. I never read up the history about that. Now you've been to Minesville, right?
Yeah, but that was a Halloween one. We
Okay.
went down for a haunted house where the kids were in there with chainsaws and banging on the walls. And
But you never actually got to investigate it
invest.
down there yet?
No, uh-uh,
No. I
no.
was thinking about taking a trip down there. And then I
Yeah,
think it'd be pretty good for you because you can actually compare Western, Minesville to Eastern
yeah. It's
Penn.
gonna be.
And
It's not far from here. So,
no, not at all. Now, to me, I went down there and I did a commercial. This was a long, 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 long time ago. Um, Down there for WPXI. They were doing the show for the haunted house down there. And during the different shoots where we had to take a break, we
mhm.
actually got to investigate down there while they were setting up the shots. And
Oh, good.
so we went into the sugar shack, and nothing really, nothing really, really stood out to me. You know what I mean? Didn't get no evidence on the K2s nor pictures like that. But I tell you what, I went out to in the middle of the field. There's a chapel, okay, and I went to that chapel. It was locked up, but it was a little small chapel, and I caught a lot of good stuff out there. You know, to me, that was like the most haunted area of the penitentiary.
Yeah.
You know, everyone claims it's a sugar shack, but for me, the sugar shack was nothing but that little chapel out there. We got a lot of good stuff. So, I mean, we
Yeah.
kind of lucked out. We kind of lucked out because we were actually be able to investigate down there for free as we were just, doing,
Helping out.
mhm, us helping them out.
That was
But,
another good one. We did the library with Wendy Bell. That
oh,
was
yeah, I
one.
want to go ahead, tell it. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I just got my night vision cameras and I set them up. And Wendy Bell was there, and they were filming for Halloween. And I seen her bend over and talk to you, leaned over to you, and said something, and then you said something to her, and then I walked up, and she said, "Wow, it's gone." And I said, "What happened?" And she says, "I just felt real sick, like I was going to throw up." She goes, "I never get like that." She said, "Then all of a sudden it was gone." And I seen what was on the screen, and I told her come back, and I rewound it for her, and there was an orb that went into her back. It come out of the
Hmm.
ceiling, went come down, went into her back, and then that's when she leaned over and started talking to you, and that's when she told you, "I'm sick. I feel like I'm going to throw up." And I showed her that clip, and then you see it come out of her back and go right into the ceiling.
Right.
And she even
That
said,
creeps her out. That creeped her
"Oh,
out.
she said I was a non-believer till I just," she goes, "seen this." And I
Right.
said, "Most people are till something, a personal experience happens to you." And what was good, she even said, if that was a bug, it would have like slowed down at the ceiling, but it shot right into the
Straight up.
ceiling. Yeah, and I really like that. That she said I was a real non-believer till
Mhm.
just now. She goes, that is unexplainable.
That
And
did
which
creep
most of
her
the
out.
paranormal is. What's that?
That did
What?
creep her out a lot.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because when I went to talk to her, I had to go to her to give her some footage that we caught.
Yeah, the
She
footage.
she just was like the same way. I think she actually put it on the news that day too.
Yeah, it was on the news that night because she asked
Yeah,
me to please send that to her so they can get it on.
right. And now that we're on the topics of Wendy Bell and orbs, what is your take on orbs, buddy?
I don't like pictures of them, stills, because it could be anything.
Hmm.
But a night vision orb where it stops and changes direction, something a bug wouldn't do. I mean, some
Right,
bugs might, but when it's a picture, you can see if it's a bug because they're long and they got like, you can see their like their wings flapping. But when you get
right.
a just solid orb and it stops dead and then changes direction or shoots into a wall, then I'm a believer in that. But when somebody just takes a still picture and says, "Look at all the orbs," see, well,
Hmm.
that could be, you can't tell. I'm really not a liker of still pictures because I
Were
like
you
to
always
see.
like that? Were you always like
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Were you?
yeah. Because of matrixing,
Hmm.
one person see a guy standing there, another person will see an elephant. It's you really can't tell with a still picture.
Right,
You know, you see a face and all you see is two black eyes in
right,
mist. You don't know what that could be. It could be
right.
anything. But
Hmm.
if it's a movie and it moves or it pops back off, then you know.
Well, how
And so I'm a
about once
hmm?
we're talking about this on Chasing Prophecy tonight, me and Jason were. How about once you explain to our listeners what you caught with the two orbs crossing
Yeah, that was
down the
pretty good.
Italian club?
Yeah, I put the IR camera on the bar and facing the stage, and then you could hear us walking down the steps. We were gone, and then
Right.
two orbs straight at it, crisscrossed, stopped, and then they went past it. And when they went past it, the camera went dunk and fell
Yeah.
over. So
Mm-hmm.
I said, no bug's gonna knock that camera. It's on a base.
Right.
And when I went up, it was knocked over, and I picked it back up. But you
Mm-hmm.
can hear us plainly walking down the steps,
Oh
and
yeah.
talking.
I mean, I really enjoyed that. Now, I'm a procrastinator, as you know, and I would like to get back into there again. I would like to get back
Yeah,
into the Italian club.
but
I'll tell you another place that I've been to. I don't think you've been there yet, but it's called Tim's Secret Treasures. It's down in Charleroi,
yeah, I was never
and
down there.
yeah, and what I've done for Rhonda all the time, she would have these Halloween and galas, right, where she would have psychics come in. They do readings and starting like at 4 in the afternoon all the way up till about 10. And then it would be me and Shelly and Rhonda taking groups around investigating.
Yeah,
And for an antique shop, dude, that's really, really, really haunted down there. And that
yeah,
brings on the topic of antique stores. Anybody out there who goes to an antique store, I guarantee you're going to find a ghost.
yeah.
No doubt, you're going to find a ghost.
Paranormal Fun on Camera show where that guy
Hmm.
has an antique store, and it's the middle of the night, and he got his security cameras, and it just shows stuff flying off the shelves. That was good.
Now, all
It was,
your stuff in investigating, have you ever done an antique store?
me, no. Mm-mm.
No,
I've been in a lot of them.
right? Well, if you were in that, because Janice, she
Yeah,
likes antiques,
but we
right?
just we just walked through, and I said, I remember that when that was new.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we're getting old, aren't we, buddy? We're
Yeah, yeah,
definitely getting old. But I noticed that back to Gettysburg, had a good. It was a good time. I learned a lot about people.
yeah,
Um, I met new people, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It really was. But I'll be honest with you, man. Those late nights kicked my butt. Honest to God, being out till 2, 3 in the morning
yeah.
investigating, and
Mhm.
it was crazy. Now Jason said on the other show that he debunked that cigarette
Yeah, we
situation.
did.
What do you think of that? I mean, even when you saw it on YouTube, did you kind of believe it, or did you just set to go out and debunk it?
Well, that's what we wanted to do, debunk it. And like
Okay.
Val said, what if you put that on a solid wall? Why wouldn't it do it? The reason it's doing is because it's on a round railing. And
Right.
as that cigarette burns down, one side gets lighter than the other.
Hmm.
And then it looks like somebody flicked it off because all of a sudden it'll just flip off.
Right.
And like I told her, now if I seen that cigarette get lifted up and glow red and then smoke come out, I said, I'd believe it. That would be
we
evidence. Just to have a cigarette sit on a railing and turn in one direction and then flip off the railing. Nah, it was,
why do
it's
yeah? Why do you think that? What would make the cigarette turn like that? I mean, I
just the
uh,
slightest wind.
the slightest wind.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
Daniel said, when they were in school, they'd take two pencils and make them into a cross and put yes
Hmm.
and no and talk to it, and then the pencil would turn. And he said, all you had to do was blow a little bit, on it,
Really.
and you could say whatever you wanted to say.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Maybe next time that we go up, that instead of putting it on it reeling, what was mind-boggling for me is if I wanted to do something like that. I would have done it on the bridge itself,
Yeah.
on something hard, even if
Yeah.
it lifted and took a drag off it. Because I was watching the video the other night and I'm thinking, there was at one point a time where it looked like there was a big draw on that cigarette.
Yeah. On the one video, it does because it
Yeah,
glows.
right.
But
And what would that have been? The wind?
yeah. And what I don't like is you can't see what the other people are doing. If you sit a
Right.
cigarette down and blow on it, you know,
Hmm.
it'll glow
Right.
red.
Hmm.
So you really don't know. You can't debunk it because you're not there.
Right.
And there's not another camera showing what other people are doing around there.
Hmm.
That's
I thought.
it's
Hmm.
it's so hard to get really good evidence that you can't debunk because
Right.
like people see Bigfoot, they film him walking through the woods and they know it's real,
Hmm.
but people say, that's a guy in a suit. You have to when you get evidence. That's why now what we should start doing is filming each other and the guy filming so you
Hmm.
can see, get different perspectives of the area and
Right.
say, well, that's good evidence there.
Hmm. But but no, you're right about that. I mean, even break out one of your DSL cameras and just have
Yeah,
somebody just film, you know, like we did
right.
for the show. Um,
Hmm.
but all in all, it was pretty. It was pretty decent. Um, so
I
what
just
else
love
is
going
new,
to
bud?
Gettysburg. It's fun.
What's that?
I said I just love going to Gettysburg. It's fun. And
Hmm.
then I wouldn't go there every day. But last time we were there was 3 years ago. Last time we went,
Yeah, that
I,
COVID put us
it was a
put a
while
number
ago.
on it.
Yeah,
Hmm. But
so it's nice to do
even
every.
did we explain in the first show that we had where I had you on about your ghost that we had in your the one RV? Did we
Oh
talk
yeah, the
about that?
Cletus. No, we didn't talk
Cletus.
about
Okay, go ahead. Tell them the story, bud.
what we
Well,
did.
I'll
We went.
start it off and you.
Go
I'll
ahead.
start it off and then I'll finish it. So it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and me and Cody was her dog. It was a Rottie, a good dog, and so it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden I heard a hi, just like a hi, and I'm like, me and Cody woke up, okay, and then we turned, and then because we both look at the same direction in which the hi came from.
He heard it too.
Oh, you did hear the hi?
No, no, Cody heard it. He looked
Cody
in.
heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh,
were both looking in the same spot. So
yeah.
go ahead with the story after that. Tell 'em.
So after we got home, I always clean the RV real good. Well, I was cleaning the vacuum cleaner out, and it has like a round cylinder with a filter in it. So I cleaned the filter. I took it in the house, cleaned the filter, cleaned the tube, took it back over, and I put it on towels in the RV on the kitchen table. Then a little later, when I went over with some stuff to refill the RV, I see I was putting the sweeper back together. And I took the tube, I put it in, I went for the filter. Filter wasn't there. So I went over and asked my wife, I said, was you ever at the RV? She said, no. I said, the filter's missing. And she goes, maybe it fell on the floor. I went back over. I looked everywhere for it. I looked where I was cleaning it. And it's only like maybe 15 feet to the basement door. It was nowhere.
Mhm.
So I said, because you said, that's Cletus. You was kidding around that said hi to you. I said, Cletus, me and the wife's heading down to New Orleans. And if I don't find my filter back where I left it, I'm dropping you off in the South because they said he was a Northern troop. I said, I'll
Yeah.
drop you off down in Mississippi. And I didn't think anything else about it. I went over to the house the next morning. I walked over and that filter was sitting right on that kitchen table. That freaked me out. And I said, okay, Cletus, I'm not going to drop you off, but don't take none of my, don't take any of my stuff. And I put it back together.
That was a cool story, and when you told me about that, good old Cletus. But how about the time I was up there? I think it was, yeah, it was the same time. We were in the RV park, and this is true, ladies and gents. I was laying down, and all of a sudden I thought I heard rain. Okay, hitting off the RV. So I get up and go outside, and it's not raining. And I'm thinking, what the hell's going on here? So I went and I laid back down, and I started hearing what sounded like rain. And I'm listening, and I'm listening, and I'm listening, and it wasn't coming from the roof. It was coming from the side of the RV. And I'm like, I said, holy shit, there's a battle going on in our RV,
Yeah.
hitting, the bullets hitting the side of the RV. And then the next day, I did go look on the side of the RV, and there were no bullet holes or,
No,
nothing like that.
thank
But that,
God. Thank
yeah,
God.
and yeah, it didn't hit the gas tank. And then that one time we were
Didn't
up
you hear
there,
the horses riding through?
yeah, that was when, like the next year or the year after, we took Kelly up. And
Yeah, Kelly.
so we were laying down there. Kelly was in one bed and I was in the other. And all of a sudden, now see this place, it was called Artillery Ridge RV Park.
Yeah.
And it's a place for equestrian horses, okay, where, people coming in with horses, they can park there, tie 'em up and feed them. But that night, it was kind of crazy because all the real horses were going crazy, dude. They were going really, really crazy, bucking and whatever noise they make. Um, yeah. And then all of a sudden, her and I heard a stampede of horses just going through the RV park. It it it, it was really something to hear. But let me explain something to our listeners tonight. You know, you go paranormal investigating, and sure, you take your cameras and you take your videos and your EVPs, whatever you take. But 95% of investigating is that personal experience that you get. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we're like, no, PPS, if you don't believe in ghosts, we accept that. That's not a problem. We're not here to change your minds, but, every now and then I will ask one to come on an investigation with us. And that has happened. We took some people who were non-believers, and kind of making fun of us, you know. This was before you joined the group. This is when it first started up. And they would come around and I'm waiting for something. I'm waiting for something to happen. You know, something happened, and it changed their lives forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I'd get a phone call from them the next day and say, I never, ever, ever experienced anything like that. And that um, kind of change their minds when they get that personal experience. But how about that time again up at Gettysburg? Because we went up there a lot. We were on the Sachs Bridge, and there was a lot of people up there, and I put that four-way K2 box on the ground, and that one lady came over and saw it going off, you know, and what and she looked at my hands and she said, "Your hands are in your pockets, so you're manipulating that thing to go off." So I took my hands off and it, started manipulating. I didn't manipulate it. It kind of like the guy from Tennessee was there, which I think was cool. You know what I mean? And again, she had a hard time believing in spirits, and it kind of like changed her mind a little bit. just as long, you know, and that if you respect what we believe, again, we'll respect what you believe. But I have one more story to tell. Union Town's coming up with their ghost walk again, which is cool, and we'll be down to Marco's restaurant the 22nd and 23rd of October. So
Yeah.
with the Union Town,
Disney
you'll be into,
Cowboys.
you're not allowed to talk. But something interesting about that, what they do to town of Uniontown, they have what you call a ghost walk. And Uniontown's a pretty haunted area. And so what they do is they take groups of 4 or 5 people and they walk around the town to different places that have supposedly have ghosts or a folklore of some sort. But the last stop is DeMarco's. And, that's really really haunted place. That's for another story. But we were down in the basement, and this guy came in, and he was the most ignorant son of a bitch you ever wanted to meet in your life. He was laughing and calling us every name in the book and all kinds of shit. And so I had the K2 out, and it was hitting. It was hitting up the orange. And he said, "Ah, you're manipulating that. I don't believe it. That's bull crap." But here's what happened. I gave him that K2 meter, and he held it up, and it went off, and he just dropped it and went out the door. Didn't say a word. You know what I mean? So I think Bubbles was there telling him, you know what, we are real. You know, I don't know that when people are ignorant to us, I really have a hard time with it. You know what I mean? Because we're
No,
no
I don't
different to
mind
them.
because I know what I've felt and I've known what I've seen, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what anybody else thinks. I enjoy investigating it and just
Mm-hmm.
knowing that I'm going somewhere after this life. That makes me. No, I don't want to haunt a bar.
Right.
I
Well,
see
let
the
me.
light. I'm going to the light.
You go into the light.
I'm going to the
Well,
light. I'm not going to stick around here.
I can see you going to the light. I can see you doing
Yeah,
that.
I
But
pulled enough
like,
pranks while I'm alive. I don't need to pull any when I'm dead.
now let me ask you this, okay? And we talked a lot about this. Tell our listeners, what do you want to know when you die in crossover? What do you? There are some things you want to ask.
Well, they
You know
say
what?
once you die and cross over, you'll know everything. I want to know about UFOs, Bigfoot, um, Loch Ness monster. I want to know it all.
Oh, you
All
did
this.
go to Scotland.
What's that?
You did go to Scotland, didn't you?
Yeah, we went to Scotland.
Did you go to
We
Loch Ness?
went to Loch Ness, Mary Queen's Close,
Mm-hmm.
the Edinburgh Vaults,
Mm-hmm.
and we went to about 6, 7 castles.
Were they pretty creepy?
Oh yeah, in the cemetery, the Greyfriars Cemetery. Well, they call
And
it
what's
Greyfriars. Hmm?
what's the Greyfriars Cemetery? I mean,
It's 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 old. I mean, it's real old, and it has the. They told us where the actual skull and crossbones come from. That's how they used to bury people. The skull,
mm-hmm.
and then they cross their 2 femurs, and that's where
wasn't
that
that
came.
wasn't that oh, okay, wasn't the skull and crossbones, wasn't that the Saint John the Baptist? Wasn't he the patron saint for
Yeah,
pirates? So basically pirates started out in Scotland, and
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I know that's how they
But
used to bury people. They used to bury their, put them in a,
mm,
what they call it, well, crypt,
right,
and then
okay.
they cross the bones and put the skull in, and that's, I guess they picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
St.
Yeah,
John,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, That's what it is, St. John.
St.
He was
John.
the patron saint of pirates, but I don't know. I have no clue.
I have no clue either. I'm gonna have to Google that when we're all done with the show and give you the answer next week.
Wild place to go, and there's a lot of spirits. I think they call it Scotch.
Scotch? Oh wow.
Scotch.
Oh, I'm tired. Yes,
They
so
like their
I'm back.
Scotch.
I was stationed in Scotland. I was
Yeah.
stationed in I was stationed in Holyloch, Scotland. There was a little town of Dunoon down there, and that's where they actually held the Highland Games. I was over there
Yeah.
one year and it was crazy. I mean, this town is so small; it's smaller than Elizabeth, PA. Okay,
They they
and,
were holding
and
them in Edinburgh when we was there.
where in Edinburgh? Well,
Edinburgh. That's how they say.
Edinburgh. I was down there. Didn't particularly care for Edinburgh, so I just hung around Dunoon a lot. But they had buses and buses and buses of people coming over to this little town. I mean, it was insane. And then they would do the Highland Games. It was a pretty interesting thing. But at that time, I was 18, dumb, young, and stupid, and all I cared about was getting drunk. So I
Yeah.
really never got to enjoy
Put
that.
into the history and stuff. And
Yeah.
our next trip is January. We're gonna go down and see Joe. We're gonna hit Mississippi, Natchez, Mississippi,
Mm-hmm.
and then go over to where he's at down in the Gulf. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to go see the Honey Island swamp monster.
Oh, that would be sweet. I got 6 more years I can go down there.
Yeah.
6 more years I'll be able to retire.
And
But
maybe.
it's getting close to closing time here, buddy.
Okay.
Hey, I want to thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and give Janice a hug for me,
No, I will.
please. All right, good. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for watching into the night. We are on UPRN Radio 105.3 Talk Radio. We're out in New Orleans. And good night and happy hunting. Bye.
God bless.
God bless y'all. And we're still going. And we're still going. Which is okay. I guess he's kind of busy. Our producer's kind of busy right now. But
Yeah.
so what are your plans coming up, buddy? Besides Mississippi, anything
Gotta
interesting?
go cut the grass. Being away.
Being away, huh?
And I got to go see Augie.
You got to see. Is he going to work on that?
He's going to find the pipe I need for
Okay, cool.
the exhaust pipe for that diesel.
Okay, that's cool.
That's
All right.
that's about it.
Okay. What's that?
I said that's about it.
That's about it. Now I'm
So,
back to work. Went back to work today. I'm a little tired, you know. I was a little tired.
I got you set till 4. Okay, Shawn, I'm going to go.
All right. All
Have
right.
fun.
Take care, Russ. Thank you, buddy.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So, life is good, everybody. Life is good. Um, I'm just enjoying this. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Really do. Still brand new to it. It's 4 weeks now, and I just I'm learning here. And for my listeners, I'll come up with some more ideas and stuff like that, and we'll have more interesting things to talk about. And I don't know. Hey, listen, if you can, if you have anything that you want to hear about, just go to, you can go to the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society Facebook page, or you can go to the Facebook page. It's Shawn Kelly. That's me, my page, and you'll see the logo. That's my picture. And tell me how you like the show. What did you think of the show? It's good to get some feedback from people. Um, so just please give me some feedback. I'd like to know. And we're still waiting for Joe to get on. He must have got busy. And so, what is everybody doing for Halloween? I think I'm just going to pass out candy because I don't think we're going to be that busy. Sure, at one point in time, paranormal field, we were busy at doing things, and not no more. It just seems for the feel of the paranormal, it just goes away, and I don't know. I don't know. So we're still waiting on Joe to get us out of here, and it was a pleasure talking to you. I'm going to go text him and tell him we're done. Be right back. Hey, welcome back. I'm back. So I did my best. Really. Oh, if we got some on time still. We're talking about that Mary Jemison, um, and her nickname was the White Woman of Genesee. She was captured September 19th, 1833, and she was captured by the Senecas. Can you imagine that? Well, I didn't really get a chance to finish the story on that. What happened was, and this is what was told to me, what was read to me. I found out that when she died, there was a guy that felt that she needed to go back to Adams County again. So what he did was he picked up a bunch of dirt where she passed, and he took it back to Adams County, and he put the dirt and I guess some of the ashes out. And there's Joe.
Sorry about that. I was messing around in the front.